Hi, Sag. This is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I'm not taking that card because I wasn't ready yet. Soul Purpose Tarot in Carmel, Indiana. It has been very cold here this week. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. So this is your February reading. And if you've been here before, welcome back. If you've never been here, what I normally do is I let come out, fly, fall, whatever, several tarot cards to read the energy. Are we looking at love or life, career, health, whatever? So let's see what's going on with you Sages right at the moment. So let's get some cards out here and see what we're dealing with here. Now, you have a lot to say, apparently, but I only need one or two. I don't need the whole deck coming out. So just give me a few at a time instead of all at once, okay? All right. I'm like, I feel like I want to go, calm down, calm down. You're like all in a tizzy about something. Give me some cards so I know what you're in a tizzy about. I'm like, I feel like I'm like, somebody's got their panties in a bunch. Sorry. Somebody's got their panties in a bunch. Oh, God. Who's got their panties in a bunch and why? Okay, so the Hanged Woman or Hanged Man came up in reverse, and then the Chariot card. So it's like looking at things from a different perspective and moving forward on something. So what else? The Emperor in reverse. You've got all major arcanas coming up here. So, okay, what else is going on with Sag? Oh my God, 4 major arcana cards. So there's some major stuff. Okay, so these all came out. I went that one there, there, and there. All right, so let's see what we got here. At the moment, we got a whole lot of major arcana stuff coming up. Coming up, coming up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana out of 7. Major shifts going on. Okay, so you have shifted some things in your thinking so you can move forward because you are tired of being stuck in the negative Emperor position. You want to flip that up. So it's kind of like you're like, I'm killing something off. I'm going to stop doing something so I can move forward because I'm tired of being upside down. And the 3 of Pentacles came up in reverse. So let me think. Where does that play in? Well, then we got the Tower card. And then we've got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is definitely new beginnings. I feel like you are ready to do some... It's kind of like you've been like, I've been in this position for so long that finally I'm looking at things from a different perspective. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so you're letting loose, changing something when it has to come with money. I'm going to have to get some clarifier cards on this because I understand most of that. Okay, let's think about this here. Looking at things from a new perspective so you can move forward because you're tired of being in the upside down emperor position. You want to get that turned upright so you're and that's the feeling. It's like, I'm like, you're killing off something. You're killing something so you can move forward. Something has to die first. Okay. Okay. So something has to die first, and that would be some lack mentality. Lack mentality has to die first. And a major tower moment is either coming or maybe that's what that tower moment is in order to get to the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning. Let's keep going with that. I'm like, it kind of makes sense. It kind of doesn't. What kind of emotions? What kind of emotions? You're feeling unfulfilled. That would be why the Emperor is in the upside down position. I know it's reverse, but it's upside down from where I'm looking at it. You're ready to feel empowered. So you're starting to feel empowered because you recognize you have more control over your situation than you have thought for a long time. And I feel like that's where where the hanged man, hanged woman in reverse comes up is you're looking at things through a new perspective. Because you're looking at things from a new perspective, it's making you feel more empowered because you're like, there's been a shift in your mind where you have suddenly realized, I have more control over my situation than I thought I did. For a long time, it was like you felt like this happened to you and you had absolutely no control over anything in your life, and something has recently happened that's made you go, you know what? I actually do have more control over my life than I wanted to give, or I wanted to admit to. So this feels like you're feeling compassionate, empathetic, caring, sympathetic towards yourself for a change. It's finally like, I feel like you're kind of giving yourself a break and not being so hard on yourself for ending up in this whatever predicament that you have in. You're not completely out of the powerless feeling, but you're getting there. You're moving forward, but you still at times, okay, you waffle back and forth between feeling empowered and feeling powerless. But, okay, so this is what I want to say. So, there was a time where you felt 100% powerless. So now you've made some adjustments where some days you feel empowered and some days you feel powerless. So that's an uptick, an upgrade from being 100% powerless to maybe 50% powerless and 50% empowered. Do you see where I'm going here? You have made some forward movement with something, whether it's changing your thoughts, changing something in order to get out of this rut that you have been in, that you have wanted to blame the universe for, and you didn't want to take credit for anything that was going on. And now all of a sudden you're kind of like going, oh God, you know, you're right. Some of this has been my fault. Well, loving, devoted, affectionate, tender. So I feel like you're starting to be a little more loving towards yourself. That goes along with the compassionate. It's kind of like you're not being so hard on yourself anymore for things because you're starting to recognize it was old programming, old patterning, old patterning, things that you grew up with that were ingrained within your physical being, within your mental space, within your ancestry, within everything. It's like, why am I seeing sugar? Hang on a second. What's the sugar thing about? Okay. Okay. So it's like you felt stuck, like sticky, like you had like sugar all over you, and it was just like covered all over you, and it's like you went in and took a shower and you like got rid of a bunch of that stickiness, that sugar, that icky feeling that you've had in you and on you, ingrained in you. And it feels like that's starting to come off, and you're starting to break free of like some of this feeling of just like tackiness, feeling stuck. I'm like, that is the weirdest way for them to show that to me, but that's the feeling that's coming along. It's kind of like, that was actually in the reverse position, disappointed. You're feeling less disappointed about something. I just feel like right now you're starting to take some control, and you're starting to feel empowered. You're starting to feel more loving towards yourself. You're starting to make some forward movement. You're realizing that where you have been, where you were at, was your own fault, but it was your fault, but it wasn't your fault. It was your fault because you have finally decided to take 100% control of it, but it wasn't your fault because that's kind of that's how you came into the world. That's what you came into the world. That's what you birthed yourself into. That's the bath you birthed yourself into. It's like that's the family that you brought yourself into because you wanted to learn that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that you came into intentionally. And so now it's like all of a sudden you're like figuring that out. It's like all of this time you've been mad about everything that's happened, and now you're realizing it feels like this mask has finally come off your eyes, and all of a sudden you're kind of like, oh, now I'm starting to see why all of this happened. Now I'm starting to get it. It's like the bell's going off or the lights going off, and you're kind of like, oh, now I see. This was all meant for a reason. This was all meant so I could understand I needed to get rid of this stuff, and that it's not me. It's not about me. It's never been about me. It was about shedding this stuff. Hateful came up. Hostile, vengeful, spiteful. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. This brings back memories of a conversation I had with someone not too long ago who feels a lot of hate and hostile, vengeful, spiteful stuff, and I'm always preaching he needs to work on his heart chakra. Surprised in the reverse position. Okay, so you're not surprised anymore. Nothing surprises you anymore. All right, so let's go. Sorry, I should not be laughing right now. Okay, these two fell out. You have a lot of regret. These are blocks. Okay, let me think. Okay, all right. You have a lot of regret. You still have a lot of regret that you need to let go of. And the admired as a blockage feels like you have admired the wrong people. And you finally get it now. You looked up to some of the wrong people. You had your eye on the prize. Like this was the prize because you thought that was the prize, and you admired those people because you thought they had the prize. But you are starting to realize that that is not the prize, actually. That you have been admiring the wrong people for a long, long time, and that's kind of throwing you off a little bit. You're kind of like going, gosh, I always looked up to people like that. And now all of a sudden you're kind of like going, you mean that's not the ticket? That's not the answer? That's not how you find happiness? You're kind of like, crap. Now what do I do? Watch signs. You are being pointed in the right direction if you will just pay attention to that. You have, I'm getting dizzy all of a sudden. You have been bombarded with signs for a long, long time. You have chosen to ignore a lot of those signs, but you're not ignoring those signs anymore because now you're kind of like going, all right. Okay, the material world. Okay, so crossroads came out. You're at a crossroads. I feel like that goes along with the admired thing. You've been admiring the wrong people all of this time. I'm not saying everybody you admired was the wrong people. But whatever shiny object you have been like thinking, oh, that's my ticket to happiness. All of a sudden you're kind of like going, well, shit, that's not it. So now you're finding yourself at a crossroads and going, okay, so if this was not my ticket to happiness, that means there's another ticket to happiness that I need to check into. The material world came up, so that makes me think that you have been focused on a lot of material things, and that's maybe where you're, and I keep hearing like ego. Your ego, your ego, your ego. Your ego has been in charge of you for so long and led you astray and down the road, and your ego has been part of your problem, and your ego, you are trying to like let go of your ego and trying to shut the ego up and not let it control you anymore. The ego is the one that wants you to have the shiny bright object and thinking that that's going to be the ticket to happiness. I feel like this is a return to, that's a blockage though. Let me think about this. How is return a blockage? Okay. So you do need to return to some things in your past and resolve. There's some stuff in your past that is a blockage for you, and you need to return there and do some forgiveness. You need to look at some stuff that there's just some past things that you need to look at. Forgive other people, forgive yourself. Pull that up, look at it, and figure out why it showed up there in the first place. So it's telling you, I feel like it's like some childhood issues, some wounds that you've still got inside of you that you need to return to and dissolve those as the final last piece of really being able to go forward and move forward and stuff. So you've got some shit that you need to look at. And as painful as it's going to be, it could be painful, it could be easy. It doesn't have to be painful. But there's some stuff that you need to look at that is going to get you out of the mud and the muck here. So, all right. Do I have any other blocks? Any other blocks that want to come out? Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? One more. You are awakening, so that's why you're going through all of this. That doesn't surprise me at all. There's a lot of people going through awakenings and realizing all of the things that they put there, all of the eggs they put into baskets in the past that they thought was going to fulfill the happiness and the shiny objects and all of that. You're realizing that you put all of your eggs in this basket, and now you're like, I gotta go down this way because those eggs are all rotten and empty. so that's what it feels like. It's like you had all your eggs in this basket, and you're being told that, yeah, these eggs are rotten and they're empty, and you're gonna crack them open and you're not gonna find anything in there. So, or you've already done that. You've done that. You've opened those eggs. You cracked that one and that was empty and rotten, and you cracked that one and it was empty and rotten, and so now you've got to go to another place to find eggs that have stuff in them. Okay, so they sometimes show me some of the strangest things. All right, what last things do we have to tell you, Sagittarius? What's the last thing that your guides, your higher self, oversoul, past loved ones want to say about this journey that you are on? Let's get a couple more. What else do they have to say? Oh, and for those of you who are single, I am working on some special Valentine's Day readings. If you are single and home alone by yourself on Valentine's Day and you are not happy about it, then I have got some readings that I'm doing, and it's going to have to do with some blocks that maybe is stopping you from being with somebody. And if you have somebody in your life that you really wish that you were with on Valentine's Day, but for whatever reason you're still not with that person, I'm going to look at their blocks and maybe the relationship blocks between the two of you. So maybe next time, next Valentine's Day, you won't be sitting at home by yourself feeling sorry for yourself. Because trust me, I have spent many Valentine's Day by myself, home alone, crying my heart out. And I feel for everybody. I understand that. Wow. Okay. The rest card came out. That also goes along with, I feel like this song has been playing in my head off and on for a week. Working day and night. So apparently a lot of people are working day and night, whether it's on actual working to make money, whether they're working on something. It feels like the universe is saying it's okay to take a break and regenerate. You also got the retreat card up. So for Sagittarius in particular, this goes for you too, my friend in Alney. I know you're going to be watching this. I harped on you the last time we had this conversation. Take a break. Go treat yourself to a manicure, pedicure. Go fishing. Do something to relax and get quiet and get peaceful. And I feel like this is them saying, that retreat and that rest is part of your medicine that is going to make you feel better. The last time medicine came out, it was like take a chill pill. That is not what that is about today. I feel like the medicine that your guides are telling you is rest and retreat. Take a break. You're working too hard. You're stressing yourself out. And that's not going to get you anywhere either. And sometimes when you're resting and retreating is when you get some of the best information. I'm telling you, when you can quiet that mind, that's when some of the best information from your guides come in. So do that. All of this is part of your soul's journey. All of the stuff that you are learning, all of the stuff that you came into this world to learn, it's all part of the journey. Quit beating yourself up. Quit beating up the people in your life that you feel like fucked you over, because that was part of their soul's journey. They came together to help you with your soul's journey so you could all learn together. You need to get that. When you get that, you will be able to move forward. Got it? All right, we're done. I've already told you about the Valentine's readings. I will see you, if you are not single, I will see you for your regularly scheduled mid-February reading. And if you're single, hopefully I'll see you for the Valentine's Day specials that I've got coming up. Thanks. Bye.